Hey everybody, this is No Kid here, and today I'm gonna talk to you about. Well, first, here's the thing. I just recently watched a movie called Arlo, the Alligator Boy, which is a great anime musical by Netflix. It's a great, coming of age sort of fish out of water story that's very heartfelt, very nice, and very catchy songs. All the songs are amazing. The characters are really good, and it's coming out with a new anime series on Netflix very soon after the movie. So I highly recommend you watching the actual movie itself, Arlo the Alligator Boy on Netflix, as soon as you can because it's a great movie, and I'll probably gonna cover that movie in specifically in the actual video, an actual separate video with the review. But this is more like a fan fiction idea, another episode. But this time, basically, oh yeah, before I even go further with this is gonna cover a bunch of spoilers for the movie Arlo the Alligator Boy. So if you don't want anything spoiled for you on that movie front, just skip this video till I come up with the review of it, more or less in a minute or whatever when I make it. In any case, so this fan fiction idea, I watched the movie. I watched it. It's just an 80-minute movie. It's a really good movie. So it begs the question: when it comes to this particular movie, there's certain elements that work with this movie, like the characters and the music and the setting and the art style, and some that doesn't, like the characters and world building. I know that's kind of like you said characters twice though. But here's the thing: the characters are both great strengths and weaknesses. Because why? A lot of characters, like the main character of Arlo, and by extension some other characters, like Birdie and stuff, they work because they have the most screen time and the most development. Outside of that, outside of those two main leads, we also have the other characters, the other misfits going to New York to find Arlo's dad, more or less. That's kind of the crux of the movie where Arlo, alligator boy, washed up from the sewers of New York, ended up in the swamps of Louisiana, and basically 15 years later, as he grows up, learns that his dad is a wealthy entrepreneur and also a millionaire up in New York, so he goes to find them and finds family, more or less. So basically, what I was going with this is that literally, since this take place geographically the same Earth as us, or any kind of Earth really, with the same sort of states and the same sort, same basic layout geographically speaking, and since they have ordinary humans mixed in with unique individuals, as in Arlo and his friends, it begs the question world building wise, like, could Arlo and the Alligator Boy fit in like a comic book universe, like DC or Marvel? The answer is yes, because it's that open ended. So here's what I'm getting at. Main idea: what if Arlo and the Alligator Boy were in the DC universe? Where would they fit in, and how would they interact with all the DC characters? And the answer is pretty simple. I mean, it'll have the basic set. Like the original movie, like the movie itself that came out recently, that's already hard canon. That's already the whole thing, the setup. But here's the thing: New York and all the other places like the Carolinas, North South Carolina and Louisiana, basically everything's the same. Just add all the DC characters. So how would I put Arlo and the Alligator Boy and his gaggle of misfit friends in this? So here's the thing on that. I would have it where it takes place after the movie, where basically Arlo and them, rebuild Seaside by the seashore, the home borough of his father, Ansel Beauregard, and Arlo and them are having a good time and stuff and all that. And how that is that this is basically DC's New York City. So, and Gotham City is like just below it. So, basically, I would have it where essentially in this universe, one way to introduce some DC characters into this series is that another Gator person winds up in there trying to escape from the Suicide Squad, and his name is Killer Croc. Yep, Waylon Jones and Arlo Beauregard became best friends because literally, while escaping the Suicide Squad, he went upriver, so to speak, and basically winds up in New York, and more specifically, Seaside by the seashore. My God, that's a bullshit name, but you get the idea. But yeah, that's the whole thing on that. And Waylon Jones is like, so let me get this straight. You mean to tell me that I could live here rent free? No one's trying to harass me. No one's trying to chase me or put me in a cage or go on suicide missions for the government. No one's gonna do that to me, and I can just live a normal life. And like Arlo's like, yeah, sure, if you want. Which is like, fuck it, I'll just live here. I'll just live here. And literally, they became fast friends, and Arlo gets to learn more about, more about Gotham and the world of superheroes. And it's like, wow, Killer Croc, you're a savior of the sewers? That sounds amazing. It's like, yeah, but turns out a lot of people don't respect that. Especially some bat freak motherfucker. It's like, bat? What do you mean a bat? You mean like a Batman? It's like, yeah, but he ain't actually a Batman. That's another person. He's the guy dressed as a bat who beats up people like us for being different. And of course, Color Croc will kind of spin this as like Batman's kind of like this big boogeyman type figure that just only is out to protect the rich and basically beating up the defenseless and the poor. And Arlo's like, wow, that sounds awful. How you managed to escape? I was like, well, kind of didn't. I wound up in another prison back in the swamp called Belle Reve. I was like, Belle Reve? Oh, might actually tell me horror stories about that place. How you manage to survive that? I was like, well, it ain't easy, but with a little time and a little bunch of ass missions, I just managed to escape with the skin of my teeth. And one day I just broke out. I had enough, broke out Belle Reve prison, and basically wound up here. So basically, Killer Croc is regaling this, and everybody's like, wow. And I thought, everybody, like Arlo's friends, like, literally, I imagine, like, Alia will probably say, like, wow, I thought the world was messed up before. So, with that being said, that's the whole thing on that. And then, guess who shows up? The damn Suicide Squad and Amanda Waller herself. And basically, he's like, at first, you'll probably think this is just, like, Killer Croc's circus friends from back when he was in the circus, but literally, she will probably figure out that Arlo is actually the son of million-dollar entrepreneur and philanthropist Ansel, kind of messed up his name a bit, Ansel Beauregard, and it's like, okay, this Gator boy is related to an actual millionaire, an up-and-coming millionaire in New York. So we can probably use him as political leverage, at least. Or at least corporate leverage. And if he dies in the Suicide Squad, hey, we could probably, if he dies and we capture him, or rather, if we capture him and put him in the Suicide Squad, that just means more political clout for me. So, with that being said, because Waller's gotta do Waller, she puts everybody in Seaside by the Seashore in the Suicide Squad. And literally, when Ansel finds out, I was like, oh my god, I just found out my son was alive, and we just now reconnected. I don't want him to lose him again. So literally, Ansel calls up his best friend, Bruce Wayne, and is like, hey Bruce, listen, my son's literally being kidnapped by the government. Can you please help me out on that? I know you're friends with Batman, but please help me out with this. So Batman's like, oh, shit, okay, I'll do it. And the whole Bat family's trying to break Arlo and his friends out of prison and all that stuff. And the whole thing comes together where basically they infiltrate Belle Reve. They basically find Arlo and his friends, who are all in a mission at the moment. So it's a whole massive foul between the Bat family and the Suicide Squad. And, well, let's just to say, shit hits the fan really fast. And, well, Batman and the gang kind of went on top and basically saved everybody, more or less. And basically, Arlo learns a valuable lesson not to judge a book by its cover, or rather, don't believe everything you hear. So, especially with someone like Batman. So, with that being said, that's kind of been my whole thing on my idea of how Arlo and the Alligator Boy, from the Netflix, tongue-tied, the Netflix movie is more or less gonna be in, probably would fit in the DC universe. So, yeah, that's kind of been my video, and I'll promise to upload the actual review of Arlo and the Alligator Boy later today or tomorrow. So, yeah, this has been the Okinawa Kid, and this is me signing out.